I was like just really upset and crying, and oh, it's the worst thing in the entire world is can't function in bed. And then made the appointment to see Setu. I was referred. They gave me a number. My doctor said, here, this is where you go. So I made the appointment, and on the drive to the appointment, I had just calmness. And when I was in the appointment, we did an echo with Setu, and he explained everything in depth and like every term, and he answered every question and said what can be done. And we had to decide where we wanted to go from there. And it was emotional and hard, but for some reason I just felt calmness and okay after being there. I just knew this is right and this is okay. I think for my husband, he kind of went to LA hoping to get a different answer. Hoping like, oh, maybe it was a mistake.
You know, I didn't want to believe it. I was trying to stay positive and hopeful that it was a mistake. And when I realized it wasn't a mistake, and I just wanted to do everything that we could do to give him a chance.
The team down in UCLA was ready because obviously, you know, they were following you throughout the entire pregnancy. And so when he was born, they came in and immediately took him to surgery.
Yes.
First part of the surgery obviously was successful. What happened after that? What was the next step for Drake?
Right after the surgery, Drake he actually went into an arrhythmia. And so we were kind of in this little limbo where we didn't know if he'd be getting a permanent pacemaker or not. After a little bit of time, he ended up getting the permanent pacemaker. And then shortly after that, he went out of his arrhythmia and he doesn't use it. We were in the hospital for about a month. He had to come off the breathing machines, and he came off some medicines so he could come home without, that. He came home on oxygen at about a month old, and then slowly weaned off that as well. And at 6 months old, he had his second stage for the correction, and it's a Glenn, and it went great. He was only in the hospital for a week.
Wow.
Yep.
If that. Might be a little less than a week.
It was like 6 days.
And then this summer, he's going to have the last stage, which is the Fontan.
The reason we reached out to you is actually Colette, the lead ultrasound tech here at the hospital, was down at a recent conference in LA that was given by Dr. Setu, who ultimately is Drake's physician. When she was sitting at the conference, lo and behold, he referenced your family, putting up images, ultrasound images, and pictures of your family, and pretty touching to Colette to be down there and seeing images that not only maybe she performed, but were performed here at the hospital as well, being part of Dr. Setu's conference. Unfortunately, we never get to hear sometimes the ending of these stories and the happy endings that take place.
We talked about hypoplastic left heart syndrome. That was one of the talks that Dr. Setu was in charge of. And he came up to me afterwards and said, hey, did you recognize that family? And I said, with the hypoplastic left heart? He said, yeah, that's the one that you picked up in Ridgecrest. And we got her down here, and, baby's doing well. And, you guys are probably the reason why Drake's alive today. I was like, that was so, touched me so much. And it just gives you that much more fulfillment in what you do every single day and everything. So.
When we started that relationship with Dr. Seitu and UCLA and the maternal fetal medicine specialist down there, this was our intention. This is what we wanted to accomplish, to be able to diagnose these conditions and then use the expertise of the other facilities down at UCLA or wherever they might be. What happened with Drake and how it turned out makes it all worthwhile. And, from our perspective, it gives us the motivation to continue to look and to find more relationships that we can offer and bring to the community. In addition to the fetal echo and pediatric echocardiology with UCLA, our relationship with our oncology center, the relationship we have with USC and neurosurgery, and now the latest one is our relationship with USC urology. Being able to bring world-class care, whether it's UCLA, USC, doesn't matter to us. It's just what we can bring to the community. Success stories like this continues our motivation.